Back with the fastest hour in radio. It's the Ron and Fez Show on a Monday. From the audio clue you were given as we were coming back, you could tell we're going to talk about Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
Mayor Oscar Goodman of Las Vegas says he's working to get strip clubs and prostitution legalized inside Vegas's famous casinos.
And this guy's not running for president. Unbelievable.
So are they done with the whole family entertainment capital of the world?
Oh, yeah. That went out a couple of years ago, and now it's whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I can't believe, Fezzi, first of all, that a city this size, that the mayor would stand up and say, I'm going to try to make this gimmick happen. And on the other hand, I thought for sure it already was legal. From what I've seen, I didn't see the cops chasing anybody.
Yeah, I didn't know you had to go to a specific place in Las Vegas, Nevada.
When you hear of hookers being arrested in Las Vegas, it's crackhead hookers down on the south side of the strip. Only in the bad part of town. You never say, hey, look, there's that $5,000 a night call girl going up to George Clooney's room, slap the cuffs on her.
And now you got Mayor Oscar Goodman going, all right, let's get all these roller coasters out of here and stop bringing in the hookers.
I see no problem with it. It's a place for adults. Adults are the ones that want to be the prostitute. It's fair trade. I have no problem with it whatsoever.
It really is that odd moral oasis in the desert.
Well, here's the problem right now. Of course, the president thinks this could lead to homosexual prostitution, which could also lead to marriage.
If you just, like Pretty Woman, except Pretty Guy.
Yeah.
If you fell in love with the hooker.
Yeah, and who knows what could happen from there. But it's hysterical to me. It's a major city now. It's just not that tiny little weird thing in the middle of the desert. It's a big city. And the mayor, a guy who's elected, can and not have people go crazy. Like, what the hell's he talking about?
Yeah, there was some casino that just had to take down a too explicit of a billboard that they had up in front of their casino.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the city commission is just going to go butt heads with them on this one.
Oh, do you think so?
Oh, yeah, definitely. This isn't going to be a cakewalk, and I think that's why he can go ahead and say it.
I'm pretty sure that the feds or the state, no matter what he comes up with, somebody's going to step in and go, wait a minute.
They've got all that room at the Mirage where the Siegfried and Roy show used to be. Let's open up a strip club.
I'm going to tell you well, there's plenty of strip clubs out there, but, the prostitution is illegal. Here's the people that should be pushing for it. American Express, MasterCard, because they are being left out of that cash transaction where everybody would pretty much rather use a card if they could. You don't want to be sitting there with $1,000, you're half drunk, and she's leaving the room.
Yeah, just put that on my tab. A University of Iowa professor says children as old as 12 may not be ready to cross the street on their bikes.
Yeah, some kids.
Claiming they don't have the cognitive skills to judge distance and the speed of cars coming at them.
See, we all knew this when we were younger, and we did it anyway. You just ride, and if you get clipped, you get clipped.
I was always told, watch out for the cars because they don't watch out for you. That was the catchphrase anytime we left the house on bikes.
Oh, that's nice. And still a little paranoia that the cars are trying to hit you when you're a child.
That they're actually aiming.
Now, what side street are they talking about? Are you talking about a highway or a cul-de-sac?
I would imagine they're talking about like a 4-laner.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. Those kids should not be crossing the 4 lanes. As a matter of fact, I lost a couple of kids that I grew up with on my street when they ride bikes and miss the stop sign. So it happens all the time, Fez.
See, I would like to move everything up a notch, where you get like a bike license at 16 and then a driver's license at 18. Perhaps 21. I'm not sure.
And yet you think that they're all really ready to date at 11. So I don't understand your sliding scale. Fezzy, Scott Peterson's lawyer may try a different defense approach this week. He's now accusing the mistress, Amber Fry, of being involved in Lacey's murder so that she could have Scott all to herself. Which one is more believable, that cult sacrifice theory or the mistress theory?
I think actually in this one, the cult sacrifice theory is more believable than the Amber Fry mistress theory.
They are just chucking darts right now, aren't they? Anything that sticks, they'll be happy with.
By the end of this week, it'll be Amber Fry runs a cult, a satanic cult that sacrifices women.
There's something about her I never really trusted. I got to tell you the truth. I always felt odd when I saw her on TV. Like maybe she had a sacrifice cult at her beck and call.
Whenever one of the witnesses goes through the extreme makeover, You know, not that they shouldn't. She's going to be on TV. But it's always just offsetting, where it's, oh, look who got new teeth.
Yeah, when you say extreme makeover, I'm thinking of buzzsaw to the chin like they do in those TV shows.
That's what they did to her.
No, really?
Yeah, I think she got fixed up good. The teeth especially.
Well, the teeth is not the same thing as suddenly having a new jawline put in.
She ended up with a whole new hairdo and everything. And then they actually did the thing where they presented her to the press.
How's she look?
With her new lawyer. Oh, I mean, 1,000,000 times better.
Maybe she'll get back together with Scott, hopefully, if everything works out the way he thinks it's going to.
Now, Teresa Heinz Carey, she says she thinks John Edwards is very beautiful.
Oh, she has eyes, don't she? So that's the way it's going to be in their campaign.
John Edwards is caught up in the Mrs. Robinson. He's in The Graduate now.
Look, don't tease him. I've seen his wife. He'd be glad. He'd be glad to do a little swapping in the bus.
So she says, John Edwards is beautiful and my husband's very smart. So those were the compliments that went out.
You know what? Here's what happens. No matter what, and they did this to John Lennon and Paul McCartney, no matter which compliment you get, you're a little jealous. Every smart guy wants to be the cute one. Every cute guy wants to be the smart guy. It's not helpful when you start to label.
To me, it's just creepy. I wish you wouldn't say things like that. It just bugs me.
Well, it's the heterosexual sex that turns you off a little bit. But she's just saying what everybody else is thinking, Fez. A nation just sits back and looks at this guy and admires his beauty.
She comes off very vampirish when she says these things.
Because she's a woman?
Yeah, and I think she wants to drink John Edwards' blood. Now, Dick Cheney, he's doing self-depreciating humor, comparing himself to John Edwards' look, saying things like, Edwards got the job because he's sexy. How do you think I got it?
Halliburton? Your Halliburton connections? Is that it?
Your sexy portfolio?
Maybe that was all a big part of this thing?
And then John McCain introduced him as not just another pretty face.
I love that kind of humor. I just don't get enough of it, Fez.
I love it when we've had Vice President Gruff all this time, and now we're going to start doing some jokes. We're going to shake it up because we got 106 days left going into this race.
I heard him open up. The last speech he did was party people say ho. And I didn't know what he meant, and nobody answered back ho. But it just scared me a little bit.
Yeah, now all of a sudden he's on the campaign trail, and he's doing all the lines of that hunched-over comedian on Last Comic Standing.
Yeah, the guy that they just voted off last week. I can't think of his name.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
I think it was some short name.
Yeah. No one's watching anymore because it's up against Big Brother. They made a gigantic mistake by putting it against Big Brother.
Yeah, that happened to me on my TiVo because I went to get the season pass for Big Brother.
Yeah.
And it gives you the overlap warning.
Yeah.
And I went, ignore.
Yeah, but it's almost like even this Saturday when they replay it on Comedy Central, it still's up against Big Brother.
How do you end up against the same show twice in the week?
Well, one show runs 3 times, and the other show runs twice a week, all at the same time. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back in just a few moments. It's the Ron and Fez Show.